Okay, the goal of the agriculture program at Cuba Rushford is to prepare students for careers in agriculture that are interesting to them, provide work-based learning, and connect what they learn in their academic and required classes to the careers that they're hoping to have or that they might be considering. The field of agriculture, the scope of agricultural careers is a lot broader than just farming or manufacturing or welding. So while we do teach some of those things, we're really trying to prepare students for any sort of career that could tie into agriculture, whether that's food science. We have a lot of food and manufacturing jobs in Allegheny County and in Cuba with the dairy processing, whether that's animal science careers, such as the classic vet and vet tech, but also non-traditional ag careers or less traditional ag careers, like a nutritionist or a farm manager. We are always trying to give students a reason to come to school in the morning. And my favorite thing is seeing the students that otherwise are kind of disconnected in their classes have a reason to take that math or that science or that English and apply it in my room in a hands-on way. Learn and achieve by the end of the year. We teach a really diverse curriculum. So our program has a plant and animal science pathway, a welding and small engines pathway. We also have middle school students in technology class. So their individual learning goals are focused on their curriculum. Our welding and small engine students are learning all of the basic welding skills. So stick welding and MIG welding, reading plans, measurement, cutting, plasma cutting, so that they're ready to build projects. We actually had 3 students from last year in welding compete in a welding contest for New York State in the FFA program, and two of them together, it was a 2-person team, were the first place team in welding, and one was the high individual in welding, which is a tremendous accomplishment. My favorite part of that whole contest was the student who won. He also got a $1,000 scholarship and like a plaque, and his face like lit up when he won first, and he just kept telling me, I've never won anything. He's not a kid that did a lot in sports. He's not a kid that did great academically, but he got this plaque for first place in the welding contest, and he will not let me have it. I really wanted the plaque to put up in our showcase so that everyone could see how well he did, and he wants it on his wall for him and his mom to look at, and he will not let me have it. So I guess that's a good thing that I don't get to have the plaque. We have students in the program. Our FFA chapter has a roster that's generally around 70 kids. So I probably have about 70 students between all of my classes. The individual class participation runs anywhere from 7 or so in a class like small or plant and animal science up to, I think there are closer to 17 or 18 in welding and small engines. Challenges for our program. One of the biggest challenges is our space and equipment. So in trying to teach hands-on curriculum, you need the highest quality equipment, you need the highest quality space. When you have a class of 17 kids that are trying to weld on 4 welders, or 17 kids that are all trying to build projects in a shop that we're also sharing with my tech students, space becomes a huge issue. And so trying to give them real life problems to solve, we are limited by our space and equipment, although we've thought outside of the box to solve those things as much as we can. Program improve. I think that we're constantly improving, but we have some goals. The students have a lot of goals which is great of what we could add or change to make their classes more relevant. So as we can add facilities and equipment and time, we'll be able to offer classes that students can become more involved in. There's a lot of students who are interested in working hands-on with animals. We don't really have the space currently to safely have animals here. I'll bring them in for the day, but not, they can't be here for any extended period of time in terms of livestock or small livestock, things like that. We have students that are interested in growing food as both from an environmental sustainability perspective, donating to people in need, and also learning how a business can run. Our cafeteria is willing to purchase food that we can grow, and so we have a lot of improvements that we need to make to our garden spaces and to our field cultivation spaces so that we can grow more food, whether that's with a greenhouse or a high tunnel, just improving the soil, fencing out the deer, improving our hydroponic production. We have 3 hydroponic systems right now that are all getting kind of outdated. We'll need some work to improve. My favorite part of the program, all of it. I like that the students love coming to my class. I joke, although I'm sure all the teachers that are working on this with me would say the same, that I teach the best class in the school because they don't have to be there. And so they're choosing to be there and they're wanting to be there every day. Makes my job really, really cool. And I really I value the fact that I get the kids at their highest energy and they're most interested. And I try really hard to take that and help them apply that energy and excitement and interest into all the other parts of their life that they need to be successful. So they do need to be as good in all their other classes as they are in my class if they want to graduate. So sometimes we have to have that conversation. But they also need to apply that hardworking mentality to their job, their after-school job, or their job after they graduate. And I also get to teach them real life skills. I teach 2 sections of a career and finance class, which is basically just what do you need to know to be a successful human being in the next 4 years. And it's really great to help give the kids the knowledge and the skills that a lot of people say aren't being taught in schools. I know that they are because I'm teaching them, and I know that they have been for a long time. But it's great that I get to teach that course as a standalone, so they can't deny the fact that they have learned some of the basic things, like how does insurance work, or when do you pay your taxes, or why do you pay your taxes. So that's a great class as well. How would I like to see the program expand? I mentioned we have a big need for we have a lot of space here on the Cuba Rushford campus. We don't have all of the facilities, but they are growing. We don't have all of the equipment, but it is improving. So as we add more relevant technology to our program, we're going to do a better job preparing students for the real careers that are out there. Whether that's the precision agriculture with the drone program, whether that's precision machining and manufacturing, like with our CNC, connecting them with the robotics technology that's already being taught here. Alfred State College, which is our closest college, offers a major. They're the first college to offer a major in ag, automation, and technology. And so to have our students do some basic robotics here and then be able to transfer that to the robotic skills that are ever increasing in the agriculture industry. Ag and tech are becoming increasingly intertwined. There's a huge need for people that can program, that can work with computers, that can work with robotics, that understand the agricultural concepts as well. Because anyone knows if you're trying to use software that was developed by people that don't understand what you're trying to do with the software, it just doesn't work well. And so our farms, as they grow and improve, are using a lot of increased technology, and they're spending a lot of money to do it. And it's really important that we have students prepared not only to use the technology, but to develop it and to troubleshoot and fix it when it breaks, and to teach those producers how to use that technology. So we have a lot of opportunity and need to expand from the past, the classic, let's kind of have cows and plows, and move forward into how does technology play a role in agriculture today.